I'd like to start off today talk about a topic that when I first started my channel, I said I was going to talk about it. And you know that they don't have too many black voices that talk about UFO sighting.
You know, Jackie Gleason supposedly had an encounter with Nixon. That Nixon and Gleason were buddies, and they were drinking. Really? And yeah, it was a famous story that's disputed, but Gleason apparently had said that Jackie Gleason and him were drinking. And Nixon was like, "I won't say fucking UFOs," and he flew him to see wreckage, and they had frozen biological entities, and they got a chance to see these things. Jackie Gleason wound up having a house built in the shape of a UFO afterwards. So Jackie Gleason apparently is obsessed with UFOs after the fact.
Well, I'm going to show you, my audience, about what I have experienced back in 1973. To start this off, I promised my community that I would share an experience that I had back in those days. And the experience was that me and my brother was in the back of my grandmother's house. We always, everybody always meet there, like on the weekends. But this incident wasn't on a weekend. It was like a weekday in February. And my brother, he just had got off from work from the post office, and I just left Miami-Dade Junior College. And we was back just talking, my grandmother and grandfather had an old T-model Ford in the back. We always leaned against that, and we had a mulberry tree. We talking, off the mulberry tree. And we just talking, And I went in the house, and my grandmother was cooking something, and I think it was we call it sweet bread, And I got me a big old piece of sweet bread and came back in the backyard. Before I came back in the backyard, my uncle, he was stationed at Homestead Air Force Base. And he was talking like, he said, "Man, I got to go out, I got to meet my friend at the Homestead Air Force Base." He said, they just found a UFO. And he told me that they got the craft and the people that was in it, the entities that was in it. And his friend was on guard that particular night. So he was he left my grandmother's house in a rush, and he went down to Homestead Air Force Base. So me and I went back in the backyard, and me and my brother was talking. And we stayed back there for a long time. And all of a sudden, from nowhere, we seen a huge disc. To describe this disc, if you see Star Trek, when you take all the other equipment off of the Star Trek ship and just leave that disc, it looked like that, but it was a cream vibrating what I call a disc, a vibrating disc, It was creamy, vibrating. And that bad boy expanded from, I was born and raised in that area, in Goose, Florida. And it expanded from the air base all the way to an area called Florida Rock and Sand, all the way down to Bayfront Park, all the way to Turkey Point, all the way across to an area you call Camel Quarters. That was a migrant area back in the days, And it was a huge ship. I never seen it like that before. Then I seen a smaller disc come down out of it. It was two of them came down out of it, and they must have went where the area where the ship was and the alien was. Then all of a sudden, I seen all three. The ships came back and with firepower going all kind of way. They were shooting. You could hear it. You could hear it from Homestead Air Force Base all the way where we was. My brother got scared. He left, And I stood there to watch. And all of a sudden, when those three ships went into the mothership, and matter of fact, the ship wasn't making no kind of noise. No, I mean, to be that large, it wasn't making no kind of noise whatsoever. It was just solid, and just floating there, just floating over Homestead Alphabet. And they was shooting, I mean, they was shooting like, you could hear this boom, 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 boom. And the ship just vanished, just moved a couple of miles, and all of a sudden just disappeared. So my uncle came back, and he was like in a panic. You know, he told his wife, said, my aunt, let's go, we gotta go, come on, let's go. He said, what's wrong? He said, we gotta go. He was in a panic. So the next day I went to college, and I knew a couple of people that lived on camel quarters. They were going to college that time, back in 1973, at Miami-Dade Junior College. And I asked them, hey, what was going on, man? I seen this and that. And they said that they had a special force to come out there to camel quarters and told them that was a weather balloon, and they was practicing artillery that night. That's what they told them. But what I seen was totally different from what they seen. Then I asked another one of my friends that lived out there. He said those type of incidents happen all the time, you know. And regardless of what they put on YouTube, what the government been telling you, I'm telling you exactly what I experienced. And it was a sight to see. And the fact that when my uncle came back in a panic, he described the entities that he seen. He said that they was about 3 feet tall, and the spaceship itself was about 12 feet in diameter. And I never forget that incident. And my brother today, my oldest brother today, he would never talk about that, but I'm talking about it, you know. So what they be telling you that UFOs don't exist, they're lying to you. I seen it, and that ship, that was a very, very beautiful ship. I mean, it was so huge. If it could span from Moody Drive all the way to Turkey Point, that was a huge ship. I used to work at Turkey Point, so I know, you know. And like I said, regardless of what they tell you, UFOs do exist, and just take heed to that. And I'm finally glad that I had a chance to discuss in my community about my personal experience with UFOs. And also, this happened during that same night now. I found out that same night, I read later on that Richard Nixon and Jackie Gleason had left the house that they had on Key Biscayne, and they left the Secret Service, and they ventured out there to see the UFO incident. So I'm saying this. I want the black community that have experienced like things that I have experienced to come out and share what they experience with our community, and tell us what they have seen in their life, you know. So when you have a chance, hit the like button. Please like and subscribe, and I'm blessed to be able to share my UFO experience with my community as a black man in America. Thank you very much.